Hello, Internet. Happy Friday. I'm very excited. I've got a gig today, 3:30 to 6:30, and I got my new business cards. It's at this market in River North. Hello. They said that last time they did it, there was over 300 people that came through, like foot traffic. So I'm excited about that. Yeah, I'm excited to pass out these new business cards, and we're going to collect tips. I think that it's going to be, I think we might be able to make a lot of money. And actually, what I'm more excited about is I think I'm going to be able to get a lot of people following my pages. And, not just like people who live in Arkansas or whatever, but people who live in Chicago who can, who could potentially be people who buy tickets to show base. I did say at the beginning of this year, I have a goal to have 200 true fans in Chicago by the end of the year. I actually think I'm closer to that than I initially believed. Yeah. So today I wanted to talk about just this breakthrough we had in my creative freedom call on Tuesday, where we did this exercise where everybody in that group has a big goal for their life, a goal of creativity of, one person wants to write a book, one person wants to do paid public speaking gigs. I want to play a show for 500 people. One person wants to create a podcast. So we all have these goals to create things that impact people and are larger than where we are. So the exercise started like this. I had us list, I proposed the question, what characteristics or traits do you think you need in order to achieve this goal? So we spent a couple minutes just writing down a list of character traits we believed we needed. And then I had us rate ourselves on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being, I don't have that trait at all. And 10 being, I am the embodiment of that trait. We discussed what we noticed just from that. And one thing that came up was most of the people in the group did not give themselves a single 10. And were kind of scared to give themselves 10s. And they said, well, 10 is perfect. I can't do that. And as we talked about it more and more, I kind of realized that maybe it's possible that some of these things these people wrote, they are doing at a 10 out of 10 level and being at a 10 out of 10 level. But because it's hard to, people don't like to, it's hard to feel like you're bragging. People like to be humble. People won't say they're a 10 out of 10 on anything. So what I had us do is I had us go, everybody said out loud, I give myself permission to be a 10 out of 10. And for some people in the group, that was really hard to say, but everybody said it. Everybody said, I give myself permission to be a 10 out of 10. And then and then we went back and we rated ourselves 1 to 10 on each of those characteristics again. And everybody totally shifted after that. Everybody said that they gave themselves higher numbers across the board. People gave themselves 10 in certain categories. One person said he had given himself a low rating in compassion. But then after giving himself permission to be a 10 out of 10, he said, yeah, you know what? Like today I had a couple interactions with a couple different people and I was as compassionate as I could possibly be in each of those interactions. He's like, I am a 10 out of 10 in compassion. And I think the power in that exercise is, for me, I see how for some of my goals, I have believed I didn't have what it took to get there. I was like missing something. I shared this. If you're a regular viewer on my streams, you'll know I shared maybe a week or two ago that I think 2 weeks ago, I said out loud, I am organized enough. And that was the first time in my life I've ever said that. I've always believed I'm not organized enough, and that believed I'm not organized enough, and like that I needed to like get more organized. And it was like this impossible thing to overcome. But I realized, like, no, I am organized enough. And then that weekend, I took some safety squad homies on a trip to Columbus to do the gig at Jazz and Ribs. And I got a group of musicians all to meet up at 9 a.m., get in my car, drive on down. And got everybody paid, got us all back. It went without a hitch, minus the weather that prevented us from being able to play. But all the things that we were in control of went without a hitch. So I was organized enough to do that. I am organized enough to do the things I want to do. And it maybe doesn't look like what I thought it's supposed to look like. You know, I don't have different highlighters to color in different things. My main tool is a notebook that has a hodgepodge of stuff. It has lyrics, it has jokes, it has journaling, it has exercises. It's like kind of a hodgepodge, but it works for me. And when I say I'm going to do something, I do it. So I share this to say I spent most of my life believing I'm not organized enough. And that belief has held me back from taking chances on myself. Because if I'm not organized enough, then I better not take a chance on myself. I'm going to screw something up and I'm going to piss people off. But being able to switch and go, no, I am organized enough, actually helps me go, yeah, I'm organized enough, and I'm going to move forward on the things I want to do. So when we did that exercise where we rated ourselves scale 1 to 10, and nobody was giving themselves 10s, and then we gave ourselves permission to give ourselves 10s, and then people were doing 10s. All of a sudden everybody was happier, and I think this realization that you already have the tools to do it can give you the courage and motivation to do it, instead of thinking, because I think not that you shouldn't strive to improve your skills. You know, for example, one of them, I gave myself a pretty low rating, and that was some great information that it's like, man, I'm not doing this like I know I could be. And since then, I've been doing that thing better. It was about budgeting. I used to be a really avid tracker of my income, and I haven't been as much lately. And that was revealed to me in the exercise. I mean, I knew it, but writing on page, I had to look at it. I couldn't pretend like I didn't know it. But also seeing that some stuff, like I am a 10 out of 10 in creativity. I'm a 10 out of 10 in musicality. Again, not to say I don't strive to be more creative, but I am exceptionally creative. People tell me all the time. And I think being able to be honest with yourself about that can actually help you move forward. There's this amazing thing from, I believe his name's Steve Chandler, where he challenges people to believe and declare they're the best at whatever they're doing. Not in a way that's a competition, not only am a best and everyone else doing it is a loser, there are going to be lots of bests. But basically, to have this opinion of yourself, like I'm striving to have the opinion of myself, like, damn right, I make the best music you've ever heard. Like, you would be out of your mind to not realize that seeing a Safety Squad show, seeing a Danny Bauer show is a life-changingly fun show. And if you think otherwise, you're just dead wrong, because I know how good we are and I know how valuable our show is. And yeah, I think people are scared of stepping into their power like that out of a desire to be humble. And humility is great. Definitely be humble. But it's not humble to pretend like your skills aren't what they are, to pretend like your talents aren't what they are, to hide your talents. It's not actually humble. It's a false humility. And the world is better served when you shout your talents from the rooftop. You say, this is what I do it really well, and I do it for you. Oh, we're past 1 mile. I'm gonna go for 2. Maybe I'll talk the whole time. I thought somebody said my name. Yeah, so give yourself, I challenge you, well, I'll repeat the exercise so I can get it not so exasperated. But yeah, I'm not gonna make 2 today. Let's be real, I'm gonna turn around at this tree. Okay, I'm gonna turn around the tree and then I'm gonna explain the exercise one more time. Think about your goal, your creative career goal, whatever the big goal that you aspire to have is, and write down a list of characteristics or traits that you believe you need in order to achieve that goal. After you write down that list, it doesn't have to be long. I think I wrote 10 or 15 things down when I did it. Give yourself a rating on each characteristic, 1 to 10. 1 being, I do not have this characteristic at all. 10 being, I am the embodiment of that characteristic. And then reflect from there, because if you can look at inside, you'll see some stuff come up from that for sure. For sure, dude. Then say out loud, I give myself permission to be a 10 out of 10 in any area in my life. Then rate yourself 1 to 10 on all the traits again. And I actually think your second list will be more honest than your first list. And it'll show you where you are more and help guide you to the next thing more. All right, friends. Well, I'm almost home. I'm going to continue the run, but I'm going to get off the live. September 22nd, Safety Squad, Epiphany Center for the Arts. We're going to get 500 people there. I know you would love to be one of them. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be an incredibly, incredibly fun show. You do not want to miss it. And it's a Friday night too. What better way to spend a Friday in September than being goofy as all get out with me and some of the best musicians in Chicago. All right, friends, have a good day.